Trey Turner did the cool slide thing again. I don't know if there's a conversation out there going about the best slider in all of Major League Baseball, but Trey Turner, he's got to be in that conversation. What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. A lot to talk about in today's video. A cycle was completed in 4 at-bats, which almost never happens. Shohei Ohtani might have had the greatest stretch or the greatest 24 hours of any human in baseball history, and Aaron Judge continues to be a cheat code. His stats just don't make sense. Remember, guys, use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek if you're going to any baseball games or concerts anytime soon. Save yourself 20 bucks off your entire order. And without further ado, let's start talking baseball. The Atlanta Braves got roughed up a little bit. You get it because Mike Yastrzemski and Darren Ruff both hit home runs. Carlos Rodon was on his game. Okay, I'm going to stop now. He carves up Atlanta, though, for 10 strikeouts and only allowed 3 hits in 7 innings pitched. Now, he did give up a run to Matt Olson, who has been on fire as of late. He also hasn't struck out over the last week. The Braves get a clutch home run from the man with the best hair in all of baseball, Dansby Swanson, and that ignites a rally. William Contreras singles to left field to score Ozuna. That one ties it up, and then Adam Duvall walks it off. I swear, I thought that Ronald was on second base because of the yellow cleats, and honestly, William can fly as a catcher. The Braves, what they've been doing lately is special, and I can't wait to see them in the playoffs, hopefully. We had a bunch of close games yesterday, and maybe the game of the year. Now, I'm probably being biased because it was the Cleveland game. The Twins jumped out to an early 5-1 lead, and that lone run came from Cleveland when Steven Kwan had an RBI triple, and here's where the madness ensues. Austin Hedges, maybe the worst hitter in professional baseball, belted his 5th home run, and Cleveland brings it within 1, but then Kepler goes the other way. He turns it back into a 2-run game, only to have Ahmed Rosario steal that run back, and then the rookie masher, Oscar Gonzalez, destroys a 2-run shot. He almost has a 140, or actually almost 150 WRC plus. He has been so clutch for Cleveland to begin his career. Speaking of clutch, though, Minnesota showed their clutch gene by teeing off for 4 runs in the 7th. I'm thinking, oh no, well, at least we fought hard, but there's no way we come back in the 9th. Okay, there's an RBI double from Josh Naylor. There's a 2-run single from Oscar again being clutch. And there's the game-winning RBI on a sac fly from Owen Miller. If you did not know, Oscar Gonzalez, not only can he mash, he's in the top 8% in sprint speed. I had no idea until I looked up his stats. Clase goes 1-2-3 for his 10th save of June. Cleveland is 17-4 in their last 21. They're the youngest team in Major League Baseball, and they have the youngest AAA team. So they have really set themselves up. I'm knocking on all the wood. I do not want to be the person. I'm going to keep on knocking. I did not jinx it. It's not my fault. Because in 2 years, I don't want to be clipped and go viral for saying something stupid, kind of like what I said about Isaac Paredes. I pretty much call him a bust because of what he did with the Tigers. He was horrific, but he did it again. That is 4 home runs over the last 2 games. I knew that the Rays would work their sorcery on this kid. I'm not saying he's the next Miggy, but he definitely is showing signs of life. Brujan, he's proven that the Rays are young and going to be good for a while. But like Aaron Judge says, you shall not pass. He hits this one in the 4th and then another in the 7th on a pitch that could have not hung any more than it did. The guy has 27 home runs. It's not even July yet. Most players would be happy with the 27 home run campaign over the entirety of a season. He might hit 60. Breakout star Jose Trevino belts the game-winning 2-run home run, and out of nowhere, he has 21 RBIs and a 134 OPS plus. Clay Holmes has a 1-2-3 9th for his 12th save. The Yankees now have a 12-game lead over everyone. I guess that's what happens when you're 51-18 as a team. The Rangers have now beaten the Phillies 9 consecutive times, as Brad Miller and Cole Calhoun were the driving forces in this one. They combined for all 5 runs, and John Gray has been lights out this month. He has a 2.64 ERA and a nearly 11 strikeouts per 9 in June. Joe Barlow secures his 13th save, and the Rangers are inching ever so closely to a 500 record. The battle for first place continues. This race is going to be a lot of fun to watch all year long. Goldie cooled off a tiny bit, but he wants to heat back up. That's a 2-run nuke, and then the other superstar delivers as well. The Cardinals were actually losing when Nolan Arenado punishes a baseball to put his team up by 1. He's hitting .350 with 3 home runs and 7 RBIs since getting a haircut. So just like Jacob deGrom cut his hair and got a whole lot better, it looks like Nolan is trying to do the same thing. Genesis Cabrera, or Genesis? Is it Genesis or Genesis? He has been incredibly clutch all season long, or at least when he needs to be. I think that's his second 2-inning relief appearance of the year. He allows 0 base hits over the last 2 innings, and the Cardinals are now 1 game ahead of the Brewers for first place. I'm not lying to you guys. Shohei Ohtani might have had the greatest 24 hours of any baseball player ever. So we saw in the game before he had 2 home runs and 8 RBIs. And now he's on the bump. Thank God, he finally got some help from the offense. The Halos put up 3 runs before the 8th inning came around, and this is where I need to emphasize the craziness of this sentence. 24 hours after Shohei Ohtani had 2 home runs and 8 RBIs, he struck out 13 hitters in 8 shutout innings, only walked 1 single guy, and allowed just 2 base hits. He accumulated a full point of F-WAR in just 2 games. If he did that, he would have an 81 WAR season. That is insanity. So I'm going to pose a question. You guys have to let me know in the comments. If Shohei Ohtani keeps this up for the next 3 to 5 years, will he be in the Hall of Fame? I mean, it's a genuine question to ask because the counting stats won't be there at all. He might not even get to 1,500 base hits, but in terms of being the most talented player ever, you now can no longer tell the history of baseball without mentioning Shohei Ohtani's name. Like, it's solidified for the rest of forever. Dr. Smooth, aka Michael Brantley, got the party started with an RBI double, and Bregman is trying to get back on a power streak, and in the blink of an eye, it's 4-0. Because Yordan hits one over everything. And then Yordan hits another Yordong. This kid is now hitting .315 with 21 home runs and a .201 OPS plus. Remember, I'm calling him kid because he's not even 25 years old yet. It doesn't make sense. Presley comes in and strikes out 2 for his 14th save. But one thing I noticed is that the best defensive center fielder in baseball, at least this year, Jose Siri, wasn't in the lineup. And I figured it out. He was not in the lineup because he was benched after tweeting F bad opinions, and that's because Dusty Baker came out and said that he wished Jose Siri would have ran instead of pimping this home run.
Yeah, I wish he'd have ran, you know.
Are you concerned about the way he celebrated it?
Well, I mean, back in our days, the next guy would have gotten drilled, or, you know, like I said, he should have ran.
That's being a man, and you know, people can forgive you when you say, hey, I made an error, and then you go on and make sure it don't happen again.
That clip went viral. It grew the game of baseball. I'm so sick and tired. I respect Dusty Baker's opinion. He came from a different era of baseball, so I'm not trying to poo-poo that and say that there was only one way to play the game in 2022. It's just have fun. But I do want to emphasize fun. So Jose Siri, I hope he doesn't end up like Yermin Mercedes, where he's just having fun, and then Tony La Russa pretty much crucifies him, and he wasn't the same guy. Jose Siri's job is to spark rallies and play fantastic defense and use his speed to energize the team. That's what he did, and he got criticized for it by his own manager. All right, let's go ahead and get the blowouts out the way, shall we? Seattle, good Lord, have some mercy. Geez, man, the Oakland A's have pity on their poor souls. So J-Rod hit a ground rule RBI double, and the Mariners popped off for a zillion unanswered runs because they shut out the Oakland A's. Jesse Winker is finally looking like Reds version of Jesse Winker. He has 7 RBIs, 3 home runs, and a plus 1,000 OPS over the last 2 weeks. George Kirby got a few more insurance runs as he tosses his best start in weeks. 6 shutout against the poor, again, they're 23-47. What do you want me to say about the most putrid team in MLB right now? And it's their fault. I wanted to reiterate, you fans deserve so much better. So if they move to Vegas and they instantly become better, I'm going to feel bad because they completely botched the relationship with Oakland and the team. This next one was over before it started. San Diego bullied Madison Bumgarner, made him look like a bum in this one. 4 separate singles put the Padres up by a ton. Later on in the game, Jurickson Profar connects on another single, or maybe it was a single. That brings the total to 8 runs, and Alfaro said, okay, that's enough of the boring, cute stuff. I'm gonna knock this one 430 feet to your mom's house. Was that too aggressive? I don't think so. Azucar pushes the box score to 10 total runs, and that was easy work for the Padres. And staying with teams making easy work of their opponent, this one ended after 2 innings because the Cubs erupted for a 7-run frame. They get RBIs from 4 different hitters. Ian Happ is having an all-star season, in my opinion. He's hitting .294 with 8 home runs, 34 RBIs, and a whopping 143 OPS plus. It's just the team isn't that great, so he's not really getting talked about. Patrick Wisdom, he's no slouch either. 14 home runs, 36 RBIs. By the way, Pirate starter Jared Ikoff, he gave up 10 earned runs in his 2nd straight start. He is the first Pirate to ever have that happen to him. So if Jared is on the bump, please do not bet on the Pirates. Keegan Thompson was on his game yet again, and he's lowering his ERA to 3.1 after he's kind of starting to figure out how to strike people out more often. Alfonso Rivas hits a grand slam off a positional player, and good for him because 7 months from now or whenever his contract is up, they won't remember that that was off a positional player. This was a fun game to recap. Mountcastle doubles in Austin Hayes, and Hayes was the star of yesterday. Well, if you don't include Shohei Ohtani. Hayes belts a home run, and same with Anthony Santander. I hate watching Santander play sometimes because Cleveland actually picked him up. They grabbed him. I don't remember exactly where he came from, but he was either drafted or he was an international pick. Again, I don't remember exactly, but 13 home runs, 36 RBIs, and check this out. Hayes doubles in 2, and on that double, he hits for the cycle in just 4 at-bats, the first cycle ever on June 22nd. And fun fact from Fuzzy, that was the first time since 1901 in which a cycle was actually hit in a game that was shortened, because Trey Mancini, he hit a home run right before this game was called due to rain, so it was over 100 years since the last time that it happened. All right, the other games from yesterday, Alejandro Kirk really wants that all-star nod for catcher. He bolsters his case with an RBI single and a home run. Lourdes adds an RBI to his total, while Bo adds 4 on one single swing. Everyone was clowning on Bo for being the starter in the All-Star game right now, at least according to votes, but maybe he took that personally. I feel like if he goes off for the next few weeks, by all means, I would love to see it. Bo starting at shortstop in the All-Star game, sign me up for that. Giolito has been very bad lately, yet Ross Stripling has been very good. 1 earned run in 6 innings. He has a 3.08 ERA, and Teoscar hits 1/4 mile. He is heating up as well, folks. Pablo Lopez finally reverted back to April Pablo, but let's talk about the offense real quick, because Birdie, Jazz, and Cooper, they all contribute with RBI base hits. The biggest one came from Cooper on the 2-run blast. Pablo carved up Colorado over 7 innings and struck out 6 along the way. And one question, I haven't asked this in quite some time, you guys like Jazz? 14 home runs, 45 RBIs, a near 140 OPS plus. That is insane production for a second baseman. Soler hits one. I mean, this one hasn't landed yet, and the Marlins are trying their best to sneak in for a wild card spot. I don't know if it's going to happen, but they are an exciting team. 2 singles from Will Smith and Freddie Freeman close the gap, and a hit by pitch ties it up for the Dodgers right before Justin Turner grabs the lead on a sac fly. And yeah, the lead quickly evaporates until Freddie Freeman steps back in. Frederick is now hitting .302 with 7 home runs, 42 RBIs, a 140 OPS plus again. Like, he's for sure setting himself up to be one of the best left-handed hitters ever and a first ballot Hall of Famer. Trace Thompson, the former Dodger, was traded from the Tigers to the Dodgers. He wants some shine as well after his brother won the chip. His brother is Klay Thompson. He drove home too, and yeah, good for him. Javi Baez, the last game from yesterday, he smokes a home run against the Boston Red Sox. He's also striking out a lot less as of late. But yeah, Tarek Skubal got torched again, which makes me very, very sad. But all credit to the Bo Sox. Duran doubles home 2, Rob Refsnyder blasted a 2-run shot, and Verdugo gave Waka a 4-run lead to work with. Waka struck out 7 and another quality start as the Boston Red Sox improved to 39-31, and help is on the way. Jeter Downs got called up. He struck out a lot. And Chris Sale, he's almost back from rehab. I like the Boston Red Sox chances of being a playoff team, but it would be probably through the wild card, right? So before we show this day in MLB history, I want to give a few shout outs to the super thanks from yesterday. Full Moon Jim, thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate that. Very kind of you to give 2 separate super thanks. And Riley asked if I have a favorite for the AL Rookie of the Year. Right now, I think it's J-Rod. Then I have Jeremy Pena, but Bobby Witt Jr. is catching up quick. So thank you all so much for watching. 19 years ago today, Barry Bonds became the first and only member of the 500 Club.
Twice struck out. Bonds going, and he steals it without a throw, and that's number 500. They'll bring out a new one, the first man in the history of the game to have that rather unique double of 500 steals and 500 plus home runs.